And you can type Y in the chat when you hear the name of your association. Eva?
Yes, thank you, Era. Alpha Austria, VFSA Belgium, BPHSA Bulgaria, CPSA Croatia, CzPSA Cyprus, USF Czech Republic, TORSO Estonia, FIPSA Finland, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, GPSF Greece, IPSA Ireland, SFD Lithuania, MPSA North Macedonia, K.N.P.S.V. the Netherlands, NOPSA Norway, PPSA Poland, APF Portugal, FASFR Romania, NAPSA Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, CzPSA de Slovenia, FEF Spain, SNAP Sweden, ASEP Switzerland, EPSA International Turkey, and BPSA United Kingdom. I have 22 members with voting right present.
And I resume the standing orders.
Thank you, Mihai. Next, we'll take the next point in the agenda, which is application for ordinary membership in EPSA from CzPSA Czech Republic. Do we have... yes, Maeva?
Yes, so Maeva VPIA, following up with the discussion that we had last night, I managed to get in contact with the LS, and I think she's here, so she will follow up on it. And at the beginning of the session, we also had yesterday we also had the president that was in the room, but then she also had technical issues afterwards.
Thank you, Maeva. USF?
Hello, everyone. I would just like to apologize for not being here yesterday because our house was flooded and I had to travel yesterday evening to another city, to Brno. And the other OD, the president of our board, was here, but she had technical difficulties, so we were unable to join. But I'm here now, and again, I apologize.
Thank you, USF. AFOP?
Alina, AFOP Austria. Then my question to USF for the thing that everyone discussed last session was, are you okay with CzPSA now getting the voting rights? Because is there any kind of communication, basically, to sum all the points up from yesterday?
USF, please raise a direct.
Yes, I would like to say my part to this. We talked about it with my board. I would like to mention that they are not here because they cannot, because they are at the pharmacy and they're working. They wanted to join, but I called them all yesterday and we talked about this. And me personally, I'm quite new to this. I'm still in my second year of studies, and I don't know as much as Teresa before me, or Anastasia or Adele, if you remember them. But of course, I talked about that I know. Personally, I'm talking for our association, which is about 50 students. Last year, it was about 150. But because of COVID, there is much less of us because we are a small country and the faculty and everything. So it's very hard to reach out to people. We try, of course, but we cannot force them. And we understand that Hradec or CzPSA, Czech Republic, has its reasons. Us personally, we don't want to lose EPSA. As I mentioned, we are really a small country and faculty, and we don't have perhaps the same capacities as some of you do to, join and be coordinators or do more and more things. And we try as much as we can. We share congresses and the assemblies. We engage the students, and they actually, they join. And we also share events, for example, the mentoring project, and a student of ours joined, but it's very, very hard because of COVID, and because we are all, inside and locked down, and we don't meet the people, we don't talk to them personally. It's worse than it used to be. And we also just changed universities. So this is as well hard because we are at a new university. Our faculty changed. I don't know if you know. And again, the communication right now, it's all very new. And it's very hard, at the beginning to get as many people interested as we can. And when COVID wasn't happening yet, we joined the congresses. We always had 2 ODs. And if you remember Adele, she was even an EPSA coordinator. And we also have lectures for students about EPSA, where we try to entice the students as much as we can at our event mobility days. And, it's not our fault that some of the students don't want to join, because we really, really are active throughout our association. But, we can't force people. That's impossible. And yes, well, maybe perhaps COVID is slowly going away, I hope. And that means it will be better next school year. So maybe if you, give us a chance, then we'll try more and our best. And I think it will be easier for us. However, we, of course, understand the CzPSA, Czech Republic cadets, and we don't want to fight them. But we also don't want to lose this. So I guess it's up to you. And I know if you have any questions, I hope I'll be able to answer them. But as I've said, I know little and the other members might not know more. And unfortunately, they really cannot be here. So I apologize for them. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Yosef. Next, we have Mihai with the direct.
Yeah, President, I want to clarify one small thing I heard in your speech earlier. You said that you will be losing EPSA if this ordinary membership application from CzPSA gets approved. That would not be the case if this, if the motion in the internal discussion will be approved and if CzPSA will become ordinary members, USF will become associate members. The difference would be in voting rights and maybe in membership fee, but that's debatable. If it's 155, it's 155 minimum. So we will not lose completely the membership in EPSA. We will just be losing what I mentioned earlier.
AFOP and CzPSA, are those still directs? AFOP first to what? Yes, AFOP.
Malina AFOP Austria. While I appreciate the background on your association, it hasn't really answered my question whether CzPSA has approached you about this beforehand.
AFOP, that was a new point since it wasn't a direct what Mihai said. CzPSA, do you still have a direct what Mihai said? Yes, CzPSA.
CzPSA Czech Republic. I just wanted to state that we, as you said, that they didn't know about it, that we contacted them even before we sent the application. That was more than a month ago. So that's not true that they didn't know about it.
Thank you, CzPSA. Now we will take the new points. First, we have KMPSV.
Kati, KMPSV Netherlands. I had a question that both UCF or Dylan could maybe answer, because I was wondering about the membership fee of UCF, because as an associate member, you only have to pay 75% of the fee you pay as an ordinary member. So I was wondering if the fee was already paid, and if it was paid, if USF would get a part of their money back, or how this would be arranged. Thank you.
First, we have Dylan with the direct.
Yeah, both fees have been paid by both associations. Regarding how it would work with reimbursements or something like that, should membership status change? I'm not sure, so I'd ask PC to clarify on that.
Dylan, can you please repeat?
Yeah, so it's just saying that both associations have paid their fees, but I'm not sure about the question about any changes or reimbursements in costs should membership status change. So I was just asking PC to clarify on that question.
As Bianca said, the technical, just give us 5 minutes for us to consult. Bianca with a new point.
Direct, I'm sorry.
Sorry, with the direct.
Thank you. Okay, so we have two articles in TORSO. First of all, we have 21.1.5. The EPSA executive is responsible for all financial actions of the association. So the EPSA executive will decide upon changing the fees, because any other article does not say how the fees are reimbursed in cases like this. And second of all, we have 21.7.14. In the event of a dispute over fees, members may appeal to the EPSA Parliamentary Council, who shall then decide on the fees owed. Each case shall be treated individually, and the decision of the Parliamentary Council, if different from the one taken by the executive, shall be brought to the General Assembly.
Does that clarify? Svetlana Alumna with a direct.
Svetlana Alumna. Yeah, I agree with PC that you have those two options. However, 21.7.14 is on the fees owned, and if the fees are already paid, then it would be the first article you mentioned for EPSA executive to agree how to proceed. Or what could be an option is that the USF or any other member brings up the motion at the GA to clarify what should be the procedure in case this motion goes approved.
Thank you, Svetlana. Now we will take the new points. First, we had PPSA.
Yeah, no, PPSA Poland. As I understand 10, UCF discussed within the board about the decision to lose their rights as an ordinary member to vote. And my question is, did you take this decision, and was this decision approved by your General Assembly and other members? Are they aware of that change? Thank you.
Thank you, PPSA. Do we have a response from USF?
Yes, we discussed it, and they are all.
USF, please write a direct on the chat when answering to someone.
Apologies.
Direct, not a new point. So this one instead the one I.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. USF?
Yes, we have talked about this, and they are all aware.
Thank you, USF. And you also had a new point from before.
Yes, I did. Yusuf Chikaya. I wanted to just say, I don't think I said that they did not contact us. The CzPSA, they did contact us. I never said they didn't talk to us about it. So I didn't understand why they mentioned it. And so they did, and we talked about it. And I'm sorry if I said something different.
Thank you, Yosef. A clarification from APEF.
Luciana APEF, Portugal. If the USF has a bigger number of students represented, let's suppose by the next year, what will be the situation if they want to apply for ordinary member? Thank you.
Thank you, APEF. Mihai, President with the direct.
Mihai, President, to answer to the clarification, we treat each application individually. If this application passes now, and if the next mandate, for the next GA, the executive will receive another ordinary membership application from USF, they will look then at the number of students, and they will then decide who is national and who is entitled to apply, and the decision will be made then.
CzPSA, is that a direct to Mihai?
Yes, and Luciano.
Yes.
Apolena, CzPSA, Czech Republic. I would just like to say that our motivation is not like a number of members, because we are most of the time have higher number of members. But our motivation is based on communication between both associations. So that's it.
Thank you, CzPSA. AFOP with a new point.
Alina, while we do understand that CzPSA's motivation is not the number of members, for us it's really important because TORSO states that the member with the most students represented should be the national association. So we would really like to have like specific numbers if it's possible to get them.
Thank you, AFOP. Mihai, President with the direct.
Hey, President, so in order to facilitate the discussion, can I please have the representatives of CzPSA Czech Republic and USF Czech Republic take a direct and tell us how many students they are representing now? Thank you.
CzPSA with a direct.
Dominika, CzPSA Czech Republic, we are currently representing 200 students.
Thank you, CzPSA. Do we have a direct from USF? USF?
Teresa, USF Czechia, we are currently representing about, in our association, there are about 50 students.
Thank you, USF. And now we'll move on to the new points. Next, I believe, was CzPSA.
It's CzPSA Slovenia. I have a question for USF about what will be your plans after this General Assembly, like in terms of communication with CzPSA, and are you going to make sure that the opinion of the CzPSA, your ordinary member, if this motion gets carried, will be represented by the both of you, by the USF and the CzPSA? Like, my question is just like, how will you tackle the communication between two associations? Because as we can see right now, the communication is not optimal. Thank you.
USF?
Teresa, USF Czechia. I did not know that the communication, personally, I did not know the communication was so bad. I thought we were doing okay, actually, and we talked about this. And what we will do after, well, I'll talk to the board as much as we can and also contact CzPSA Czech Republic. And yeah, well, we don't know, what will happen in the future because the board there will be the board members will change, new voting, and nobody knows how this communication will continue with, a different president and so on. So I hope this answers your question enough. Thank you.
Thank you, CzPSA.
Alumni CzPSA Czech Republic. So our communication, as I mentioned yesterday, was at like very low point. We tried to communicate through all congresses. When it was in person, we taken care of even their delegates concerning important information which should be transferred from licensed secretaries to their delegates. So it can be better. We hope so. We hope that the communication will be better and that even if this motion is not carried, that they will discuss some of the points regard voting. Thank you.
Thank you, CzPSA. Do we have any other comments? USF with the direct.
Teresa USF. I apologize then for the communication, but as I've mentioned, I'm one of the members that knows least about this, and the president and the members who were there before me, it was kind of their job to communicate, and I was new to this. So if the communication was this bad, then I apologize on behalf of them, and I hope it will be better. I'll try, to talk to you more and everything. That's it.
Thank you, Yosef. Afab with a new point.
Marlene, Afab Austria, to be honest, we are really thrown by this situation right now because we were assured that the communication is fine with everything, and we're really not sure how to proceed right now because on the one hand, we really wouldn't like to remove one ordinary member that is already having voting rights without any explanation. But then the other hand, we do understand CzPSA's motivation behind applying. So we would really love some input from the other associations as well, because we're really undecided right now.
Thank you, Afab. Next, we have APEF with a new point.
Listen up, Portugal. If both associations represent the same number of faculties, the decisive factor is the number of students represented. And by the torso, even though this motion is not carried, CzPSA represents more students, so it should be the ordinary member.
Thank you, APEF. Next, we have KMPSV.
Gazi KPC Netherlands. I would just kind of like to stress that it's kind of essential who has the voting rights, and from both UCF and CzPSA, I would really like to hear, like, have they discussed this in between them, not just the representatives here, but have they really come to a conclusion, and are they both okay with the decision? Because then I think it's fine to either make CzPSA as ordinary member or keep the ordinary membership with UCF. But I think that this is most important for them to decide, since they are the ones who are either losing or gaining their membership or their voting rights. Thank you.
Thank you, KMPSV. Next, we have PPSA.
Yeah, in PPSA Poland, we agreed that EPSA TORSO says that the voting rights should have the association who has most members, represent more members, but we would like to propose to both associations from Czech Republic to provide the GA maybe a statement of the official agreement signed by the representatives of boards that they agree to have like the voting rights to the CzPSA. So it will be clear, and it will mean for the GA that both associations agree, and all the members are aware of the changes. Thank you.
Thank you, PPSA. New point from UPSA was dropped. Do we have any other comments? CzPSA.
Sonia, CzPSA Slovenia, we would here like to express our support for CzPSA because they have shown a better, higher activity level than USF, and we support their application for ordinary membership.
Thank you, CzPSA. Other points? And I would also like to remind you that we'll have the internal discussion. Next, we have a new point from Patrick, alumnus.
Yes, Patrick, alumnus. Maybe continuing on what Joanna from PPSA asked. She asked for a written agreement. I think that's maybe a step further than we should actually go. But Apollina yesterday said that there was an agreement between USF and CzPSA that the voting rights would be shifted so that CzPSA would come from associate member to an ordinary member, and that USF would go down from ordinary member to associate member. But the thing that we hear now from Teresa is that they were aware of the application of CzPSA. But awareness is something completely different than an agreement. So basically my question, both USF and CzPSA is, was there an agreement that the voting rights would switch? And that also would mean the switch between the memberships. Was the agreement there?
Thank you, Patrick. Next, we have CzPSA with a direct.
CzPSA Czech Republic, yes, there was an agreement, and without the agreement, we wouldn't even apply for the ordinary membership because we don't want to have like problems between associations. So we hear new things today.
Thank you, CzPSA. UPSA with direct.
EPSA Turkey, can we see a proof, or can USF clarify it right now? Thank you.
USF with a direct.
Teresa Josef Czechia. They didn't tell me about an agreement. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just here to tell you what I know. But I can contact them ASAP. But perhaps there was an agreement. But when we talked about what I should say here today at the TA, then they didn't really agree. Yes, I wouldn't be kind of fighting here, if there was an agreement and if I had known. So I apologize for this. I don't know why they didn't tell me. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think there really is a communication error, but this sounds quite important. So I could contact them, but well, I guess we don't really agree then,
Thank you, Josef. CzPSA with a direct.
Apolena, CzPSA Czech Republic. We spoke to your president as the highest member of your executive. So I think that you have problem in your communication as well.
Thank you, CzPSA. Clarification from Patrick Alumnus.
Yeah, Patrick Alumnus. So just to clarify, Teresa, you're talking a lot about them and they. Them and they are those the USF board, or are those the CzPSA board? Who is it?
Kati, I guess that's not a direct to Patrick, KMPSV. So, yes, but now we take to Patrick, so you would need to drop it. Nate's with a clarification, with a clarification.
Nate CzPSA Slovenia. Can I just ask Teresa, what position does she hold in USF?
USF, you would need to raise a direct. USF.
Teresa Josef. I'm the vice president for PR in our organization and also the LS. And I don't know what to say. I'm kind of angry right now at our board that they didn't tell me about this agreement. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I apologize for this. And I'm texting them right now and waiting for an answer. We've talked about this for like 2 hours yesterday, and I don't know why they didn't tell me, okay? So it's not my fault, but I'm waiting for a reply.
Clarification from EPSA.
EPSA Turkey. So my clarification is pointed to Apollina. Apollina, you said that you have talked to the president, the USF's president. Are there any document proof, or was it just in the phone or something? Thank you.
Just as a technical, please be mindful with clarifications, as they could be new points. And when answering to a clarification, raise a point of information. And now there has been a bit of confusion in the chat, just a technical. Technical from Bianca Parliamentarian. So next time you skip the list with a clarification, you may not be given speaking rights for the session again. And I just need a technical for a few seconds to consult with PC. Okay, so now I drew a new line and I'll ask for new points since there was confusion in the ones before. Yes, KPSV with a new point.
Kathy, KPSV Netherlands. Well, this was kind of new point direct to Teresa because she mentioned that she talked to or discussed this within her board yesterday for over 2 hours. So my question is kind of, what has your board said to you when you came? Or have they said like, okay, so there will be an application about the membership of CzPSA. You will just have to sit there and say that you're okay with it? Or did they really encourage you to say that you're not okay with it? Because that will really make a difference. How did they bring this to you? Did they say, oh, just be there? Or did they really say that they do not agree or do agree? Because this would really clear up our minds about the agreement between UCF and CzPSA. Thank you.
Thank you, KPSV. USF with a direct.
Teresa of Czechia. Now they have answered me. There was an agreement. I didn't say that CzPSA was lying, okay? I just wanted to check with the board, so there was an agreement. However, yesterday they told me that they thought about it and they don't actually really like this. So they kind of told me to fight over here, which is what I'm trying to do. Not like fight, but like to keep the position, that's what I mean. So there was an agreement, but now they disagree and they sent me here to, try to keep this position.
Thank you, USF. CzPSA with a new point.
Nate, CzPSA Slovenia. So in CzPSA, we really can't believe how can information like that pass the LS of USF. And we also think like Sonia said already that the USF is not taking this seriously enough and that they are not prepared for it. And then we receive information that they agreed to it, but then on the other hand, they have a discussion where they want to fight this. And yeah, well, given all of I have mentioned, we think that, yeah, we strongly support CzPSA because they are taking this matter as they are supposed to take it. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, CzPSA. CzPSA with a direct.
Apolena, CzPSA Czech Republic. I'm on my phone with our board. We are very disappointed with this because if there wasn't agreement, we had our presidents had a Zoom call between them and they suggested that it would be better if we would become ordinary members because we are active and they have HR problems. So that was the reason why we applied. Now everything has changed and that's enough what I want to say. Thank you.
So first I will read the new point from EPSA. What does the torso say about the issue? Bianca will take a moment to look for it and we'll take, the direct from Bianca, parliamentarian.
Okay, give me just a second to find the exact articles. Thank you. Bianca, parliamentarian.
Thank you, Bianca. And next we have a new point from APEF.
Lucena APEF, Portugal. We believe we are going in circles here, and it seems a lot of misunderstandings and lack of communication. We already know the motivations from both, so we would like to move to internal discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, APEF. KPSV with a new point. 9.3 from KPSV, seconded from ANEP. So first, I will open the floor for discussion on the 9.3 and give the floor Mihai with the technical.
Mihai, President, so let me explain you what will happen in case this 9.3 passes. If this 9.3 passes, we'll move on to internal discussion. All the Czech students in the room will be moved to a breakout room. This includes Josef, our current Vice President of Education. This includes all the official delegates from both CzPSA and USF, and we will have an internal discussion without them. Live stream will be stopped, recording will be stopped. Everything said there will be internal. If someone doesn't have a webcam open, they will be moved to a breakout room. If someone is not named properly, they will be named to a breakout room.
Thank you, Mihai. Once again, I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Okay, PSV. Okay, no need. Mihai with technical.
Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion on the 9.3 to close the discussion, the open discussion.
Thank you, Mihai. Next, we'll proceed to vote on the motion. Write for, against, or abstain in the chat. And we have 23 votes for. The motion was carried. Bianca, parliamentarian with a technical.
Bianca, parliamentarian, I will now pause the recording. I would like